Like, during the summertime, her child fell asleep from 9 to 12 every single day. And every single day I was like, honey, do you want to do a craft?
Hence why she's like 4 inches taller.
And I know people are like, don't wake a sleeping child. Dear God, I just wanted to play with her.
I know, because you want to do all those like fun things that you either did when you were a kid or...
No, I just wanted to fucking spend time with her. And all I did was nap with her.
I think a big thing that I loved is like this summer and stuff and like continuing it. Like I've done it for like some holiday movies and everything, but just like continuing to like show her older stuff instead of newer stuff or like a hybrid of both.
It was a really good segue.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hair toss. Toss. Legs. So, on that note, what is freaking out? My name is Eve.
My name is Sarah.
And we are Burnt Out Perfectionist.
Because we are. Happy Monday. I beat her.
I feel like there's so many old comfort shows that I used to love with that I just like, I'd rather keep up with those versus like new releases.
I know there's some new releases like the Hallmark movies. Like those ones are like pretty standard, but I feel like there is so much anticipation for these like really great movies or TV shows nowadays, and you hear about them like way too fucking far in advance to the point where I don't remember that they exist or when they're launching. Or it's like so ridiculous, and then you go on social media and either everybody is talking about what happened in it, so there's no point in watching it, or you're just like, you go to watch it and it is nothing that you anticipated. Like all the funny parts was in like the trailers and everything.
So instead of Surviving Time, what is probably the best TV show or movie that you've watched in the past like 2 or 3 weeks?
I love High Potential. It just came back. Oh, I love a show that makes you think and keeps you like guessing all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And the runarounds. Even she watched like the whole thing. I've only watched a couple episodes, but it was really good and actually what I thought it was going to be versus like over delivering or under delivering type of thing.
So if you haven't watched it, obviously I won't share any spoilers because Sarah hasn't watched it fully yet. The Runarounds is the creator of Outer Banks created the show. So if you watched Outer Banks, there was a band that made a cameo. And they were called the Runarounds. The Runarounds is a part of the show. And it's a band of teenagers. It's set in 2025. Granted, I thought it was going to be like set in the 80s because of the vibe, which I really enjoyed because it was like very like chill.
Yeah.
There's no advert sex scenes, which I am a fan of. Thank you for no sex scenes. There is like alluding to, there is participation in the cannabis, that you see and stuff. But honestly, it was one of the shows. It was the first show in a while that I'd watched that I got the same feeling. I don't even know.
I feel like you didn't waste your fucking time.
I wasn't like bored.
No, I felt like every episode was good. We've talked about it before. It's not like one of those shows that came out. There's so many episodes. And then you're like literally 2 episodes to the end of the, if they call it a season or set of the shows, and then it finally gets good. I refuse to watch those shows. Stop wasting my fucking time.
I also feel like now that shows are no longer like 23 episodes.
I know, I hate that.
I don't need a filler episode. You don't have time for a filler episode. Like 8 to 10 episodes, I need to get to the point. I don't want this like random filler episode that I'm like, oh.
That was like, I watched the second season of Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like something that they expanded on, which has never been spoken about in like Addams Family movies and stuff like that before, which I thought was super cool. Other than that, I thought it was super slow. And like, I waited so long for that. And I grew up with Addams Family. I've watched the old ones and like the ones where Christina Ricci and stuff like that were in. And I thought the first season was really great. And I thought the second season could have been like super rushed because they did it after she was in Beetlejuice.
I didn't mind it. I feel like because the first season had like, it was so good.
Yeah.
And there was like so many different storylines. It was great. I feel like they might have harnessed on specific storylines that I didn't really care about.
Yeah.
And like the main storyline I liked, but I just constantly went, okay.
I know, I kind of wish that they did more about that cult. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. I wanted to know about the cult. I wanted to know about I know that they're probably gonna like do more stuff in season 3.
Oh, God knows when that'll come out. Do you see the difference between Pugsley season 1, Pugsley season 2? Like, he went from a boy to a man. Like, that's not like a over summer glow up. That it looks like he. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like what a difference.
Well, even if like the guy from Percy Jackson, like I haven't watched it yet. I wait until there's 2 or 3 seasons and then I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And he went from like a tiny child,
Yeah,
to like almost 6 feet, and his voice sounds like this.
Oh, I know his voice like completely changed, and then we were laughing because they started doing the press tour for Percy Jackson. Do you know when the next season comes out?
No.
Get ready to laugh. December 17th. It's like, why the fuck are you putting this all on? It's like a special look into the season. I'm like
next year or this year?
this year.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, oh my God, that's months away. Why?
Granted, I have been watching Wicked promo since June.
Oh, I don't care though. That was like literally set up as it's going to be 2 parts. This is what it's going to be. The second half will be this. Like, they anticipated it. Everybody else is like, oh my God, this did good. We're so surprised. Oh, don't worry. We already signed it for 3 seasons. Was the next one coming out? We don't know.
Going back to the classics, we grew up obviously in 2 different time periods.
It's like decades.
2 different decades. We're almost 2 decades apart.
Yeah.
We're a decade and a half.
Decade and a half.
Which Sarah was really offended when she was editing the podcast.
Oh my goodness. So Eve was like recording promos and she's like, oh yeah, we're 15 years apart, which is like a decade and a half. I was like, fucking rude. That's like sitting there. At some point when I had a day off, I put on Gilmore Girls because I was like, there was nothing else on TV. I'm like, why not? It was crisp in the morning. I'm going to put it on. I don't think my husband has watched Gilmore Girls. I think he's been in the room when it's been on. And his like mom and sister also love this show. And I had it on. So my daughter's like watching it and she's like laughing. She's like, that mom is really funny. And I was like, right. And then she was like, oh, what's that lady? I'm like, what lady? And she goes, the lady from the movie with the girl when she goes to Italy. And I was like, oh, yes. So the harp player who was originally going to play Suki is the teacher who takes Liz McGuire.
Oh, yeah.
Italy. So she's in it. And then you see Lauren Graham walk in. And then Melissa McCarthy's there. And Charlie goes, oh, what? She's in this too? And I was like, yeah. And like, nobody knew who this chick was when she was in this movie, in the show. And we were going through and then they show like the grandparents. And she's like, that's the dad from Richie Rich. Because I've showed her those older movies. So she liked it. And then it got to like the third. It's either halfway through the third or the second episode. Where Rory's at Chilton. And then Charlie goes, I do not like that Paris girl. She is so mean for no reason. And then what irritated her the most, and as she called him, why does Jake keep calling her Mary? And Ben goes, is his name Jake? I thought they just said his name is Tristan. I'm like, Ben, that's Chad Michael Murray. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, he's in the show. And he's like, why is that my stomach?
I was trying to figure out why does she call him Jake?
Because he's Jake in Freaky Friday.
Oh.
And Freakier Friday, which we watched the night before that. Damn, that is a good movie.
So just to preface, I grew up my childhood, majority of my childhood was in the early 2000s.
Yes.
Sarah's was in the early 90s.
I think 90s. Like, I remember some stuff from the 80s, and there was a lot of stuff that was, like, replayed, but...
Well, you were at the
90s, yeah.
So the shows that she would watch as, like, a teenager, I watched as a child.
Yes.
So
some of them not.
So I was actually talking to someone about this. The really funny thing is we were talking about, like, Grey's Anatomy and Dexter.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, you know, Grey's Anatomy came out in 2005. Mm-hmm. Dexter came out in 2006. I watched Grey's Anatomy, Dexter, Chuck, Criminal Minds, Bones, Castle. All very serial killer-esque shows. Medical shows.
Yes.
You know what I wasn't allowed to watch? South Park. Or Family Guy. So, in general, like, I said something like, oh, I really like watching, like, serial killer shows. And Mom looked at me, like, shocked. And I looked at her and said, don't act like you didn't train this.
Well, that was like, I would watch like super kiddie shows, and then like our mom and I, or our mom and myself, or Nana and I would watch Dateline in 2020, and I'd be obsessed with these murder cases. Like there's still to this day, if there's an update on one of the murder cases, I will message it to mom and be like, "Holy shit, there was a development with the DNA." So I would go from watching things like anything to do with Mary-Kate and Ashley to then watching 2020 and Dateline.
Which I always thought was funny because like when I grew up, I didn't watch a lot of like generic like kiddie shows when I was little.
Yeah, no.
Like I watched Teletubbies with the dog.
They were dickholes. Like in the early 2000s, a lot of the kid shows, the parents were either stupid or the kids were just complete assholes to them for no reason.
I feel like that came out more like in the 2010s.
I know there was a couple of them where they were just like dumb and you just like could not handle it.
Yeah.
You would be like, "Can you turn this off? This is really stupid."
For instance, if no one has ever watched it, Tiny Planet. Bing and bong, bing and bong.
Oh yeah, we were definitely like PBS kids.
Oh my goodness.
Like Arthur. I love Arthur. So good.
Oh, the Silent Castle. Oh, you're looking at me like I'm insane.
Yeah, that's like if I said polka dot door.
Oh yeah, that's polka dot.
Yeah, or the Friendly Giant.
Yeah. Do you remember what the Silent Castle is?
I don't know. Is that the creepy one where the people came out with the dolls? Is that what I'm thinking of? Like there were like live people that came out?
Yeah, they were like real life people, but they were quiet. And there was like the weight man and there's the ballerina.
Oh yeah, I think that show scared me. It was like Lazy Town. What the fuck was with their faces?
Oh my god. I love Lazy Town.
I know you love Lazy Town.
I feel so bad. R.I.P. that man. His morning routine. We're doing a TikTok. They were like, "Has anybody watched Lizard Town? Has anybody tried to do? Oh my god, what was his name? The man's routine because he would like jump out of bed and then do like a backflip and 3 cartwheels, and then like it was so intense. People tried to do it, and they were like, "We didn't give this man enough credit."
Oh, that's like all the freaking posts that I see right now on TikTok because for some weird reason there's this large resurgent for comfy couch. And they're like, "We did not listen to Lynette the Clown and do our clock stretches every day. That's why none of us can bend over without our knees snapping and being in pain."
I watched Comfy Couch. I feel like that was more our middle sibling.
It was. I would like watch stuff with her too because I don't mind watching. I never like would mind watching things with people. Just like I don't mind watching things with my kid.
I will say, like, we had probably more Nickelodeon than Disney, and Cartoon Network wasn't super around. Like when I started watching shows.
Oh yeah, I was like Cartoon Network didn't come to Canada until like 2010.
I will say, like, classics like Rugrats. I loved Rugrats.
Oh yeah, so we had like YTV, which I think still exists. A lot of the like kids and family channels have started disappearing in Canada. And so we had YTV, Teletoon, and Family Channel.
Oh, Teletoon was like, what was it? Drum Island. 16.
Oh, I love 16.
Gotta find a way, got a new job, gotta find... Totally Spies.
Oh, yeah.
Highlight. Winx Club was on there sometimes. Recess.
Oh, I loved Recess.
What else
that was Family Channel was Recess.
Grossology. Darn, I love Grossology.
There was this show that was on YTV, and it was called Freaky Stories.
Yeah.
It would always be like a friend of mine. And they had these like crazy things that were almost like the telephone game where they could have just been so extreme for no reason. That was super funny. Or like they had cheesy things like Are You Afraid of the Dark when I was a kid? Goosebumps.
You know what movie I still can't watch to this day is Monster Under My Bed.
Oh yeah, no. That was like Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah.
Or My Friend the Monster. I think that was the one with Fred Savage.
But there was like so many random shows. Oh, or Foster's Home for the
Imaginary Friends.
Imaginary Friends. Oh, those were like the shows I watched. I did like Winx Club. I did watch Ruby Gloom.
I was about to say, when the fuck are you gonna say Ruby Gloom?
I still to this day I hear the theme song and I'm like, take it better, better, da 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 the dark side. But I like so many people when I was younger. That was like when the Barbie shows started coming out.
Oh my god, those Barbie shows were so good for no reason.
12 Dancing Princesses. Oh my god, Pipler. I would watch those and I would just be like, oh, Scented Strawberry Shortcake.
Oh my, Eve whips the freaking. So she has a bunch of the DVDs, and all of a sudden she like opens up the drawers. She's like looking around like while I'm here, and she goes, "Oh my god!" and pulls it out, and then picks it up and goes. And I was like, "Does it still smell like it?" She's like, "Yeah."
It, like, I love strawberry shortcake. That case, oh, Tinkerbell. Like, I feel like I was more of a movie kid than a TV show kid.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we didn't have cable.
But also, like, I didn't, I, like, when I got home, my immediate reaction wasn't like, I'm gonna go watch TV.
Oh, mine wasn't that. I used to just like run in, drop my freaking bag and shit on the thing, and then run back outside.
Yeah.
Go like ride my bike or rollerblade or go play street hockey with my friends.
Which I know that a lot of people would, like, come home and, like, their parents would be at work. And
Yeah.
stuff like our parents usually.
Latchkey kids. Latchkey and latchkey.
But I feel like I think more back to, like, when I was, like, your kid's age to, like, a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Disney original shows.
Oh, like Hannah Montana.
Well, Hannah Montana was it the Waverly Place?
She's coming back.
Honey, she never left.
I know. What was the other one that was on? That was always really cute. Oh, I didn't mind Zach and Cody. I always thought they were really funny.
I had a love-hate relationship with Zach and Cody. I liked the regular Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Oh yeah, I forgot that they went on all those other versions.
I like Sweet Life on Deck. I loved Wizards of Waverly Place. I thought that one was really cute. Oh, well, there was a couple of them. There was like random ones on Nickelodeon that they would switch over.
I loved Even Stevens.
See, and I didn't.
Oh, I did. I thought Shia LaBeouf was like one of the funniest fucking people ever.
See, I was more like Lizzie McGuire.
Oh yeah.
I loved Phil of the Future.
Phil of the Future was so good. Okay, so I tried to watch Phil of the Future with my kid. Oh, it is brutal to try and watch now.
I understand it's probably quite brutal, but I love that one. Oh, there was three shows. So I had a TV in my room, and there was three shows that I'd stay up until 10 p.m. And these three shows would be on. Oh, what was it? It was Phil of the Future,
Mm-hmm.
Lizzie McGuire, and then there was one other one. Brace Face.
Oh, I loved Brace Face.
And I've watched them secretly in my room because it's 10 p.m. I was very exciting. But I loved watching those shows, and I was always like, oh, and like our parents, like our dad, freaking loved a cartoon. I still have Invader Zim.
Oh yeah, Invader Zim was like a huge, like we always like stuff like that. Or he would sit and watch on the weekends when I was a kid. They would have for a very short time on Fox TV, or I think it was called UTV at that time, which has now turned into Global. They would show like X-Men and stuff like that. So we would watch X-Men, The Tick. There'd be a lot of different like cartoon shows around there, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So he would sit and like watch all those with me because it was just fun to watch those things. I loved, like, one thing that I always remember being a kid is I had to sleep over at my friend Sandra's house, and Crystal and I went, and they had the premiere on ABC channel of one Saturday morning. And one Saturday morning was, they would play like, it was supposed to be like the morning kid version on a Saturday of what they had TGIF of. And so I had Recess and like all those kind of kids like her, and Weekenders. I fucking loved Weekenders. To this day, I still quote that damn show.
A lot of the shows, like, I remember, what was it called? There was a show, and it was the Avengers Kids, and I thought,
Titans?
No,
that's a different one. That's DC.
Yeah. It was like Mini Avengers or something like that, and it had like Thor's daughter.
Oh.
Black Panther's son. I can't really remember anybody else, but like I thought Thor's daughter was the sickest character ever. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. But I never, like, I always remember watching those. And I remember when people in my school started watching, like I had always watched Dexter, always stuff like that. And people were like, oh yeah, our parents don't let us watch that. And I was like, okay. Like, I would sit there and we would watch American Idol.
Yeah.
Canadian Idol.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Castle. I've always had this, like, love for Nathan Fillion.
Oh, because he's good in everything.
And I I went to the Dollarama one day and they had a book and it was by Richard Castle. Like it was the book that was written for the show, and I was like, "This is the coolest thing." And then I gave it to our sibling because they were a huge fan. But like, there would be specific people that I would love. So like, Adam Sandler was huge in our household.
Oh yeah, Adam Sandler. It was like anytime he had a movie that came out or was attached to a movie at all, we would go see it.
Which I didn't know like we watched Little Nicky, Mr. Deeds and stuff like that. My favorite holiday movie to this day is A Crazy Nights.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how inappropriate it was until I was like, oh my God, I'm going to watch it with your kid. And then I was like, wait.
That's like the story of my life with some of the shows. Like when I pull them out and put them on. So like Angels in the Outfield. Super fucking devastating when you actually watch it again.
Which a lot of like you're starting to show your kid the Disney originals that I watched when I was younger. Mm-hmm. So like Starstruck, Lemonade Mouth. I would like to say I think the most underrated soundtrack is Cloud 9. It has Dove Cameron and Luke Benward in it.
Okay, I haven't watched that one yet, but it did come up as a suggestion the other day.
Okay, I'm gonna say that the storyline is kind of crappy. Luke Benward, beautiful man. But there's so many songs in that show, and I'm just like, this is fabulous.
That was the whole thing. Is there was, like they would get you really excited for those like Disney Channel original movies. So we didn't have Disney Channel. We had Family Channel, which was like a hybrid version of like the Nickelodeon Channel and Disney.
I have always said that I'm like a grandmother.
Yep,
which is okay. The first show I ever set a series recording to was Reba.
Oh my goodness. You, my friend Selena, me, like I remember we didn't have cable and I was babysitting the set of twins and I just looked right at their mom and I was like, wait, do you have the WB channel? She's like, yeah. And I was like, can I please like watch Reba? Or she's, do you want me just to record it for when you come over? She just had like a push, she was like going to school or something like that. And I was watching the kids and I'm like, will you seriously set a recording for me? And like nobody had PVRs at this time. Like it was very hard to get a PVR. And I was like, I would love that. And I literally was just so excited to go binge watch. It wasn't even called binging at that time. It was just like sitting and watching episode after episode of Reba.
I love Reba so much. I compare her to our aunt all the time. If I ever met that woman, I would cry.
I have honestly compared her to our aunt since I was little. There was this like, our aunt has like very nice curly hair. And there was this magazine cover and I like turned around at the grocery store. I was probably like 5 and I was like, it looks just like you. And she was like, oh, thank you so much. She's a huge country music fan.
And a lot of shows, I feel like now, like they end on like a cliffhanger and it'll be like a car accident, an explosion, and like something like that that's like ridiculously dramatic. I think why I loved so many shows when I was younger is because like the anticipation, like our mom and I were rewatching Supernatural and like we watched the first episode. And if you haven't watched the first episode of Supernatural, it has been out for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not spoiling anything.
No.
Sam's girlfriend gets sucked up by a demon, and there's like green screen fire that's not even engulfing her. Our mother screamed like a schoolgirl. And I was looking at her, and we were watching it. Same thing with Grimm, which not a lot of people remember Grimm. I loved Grimm. And I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, and like they'd Vogue, which is like when they transform into their like uncamouflaged self. And I'm like, oh, that's a little bit creepier than I remember.
Because at the time it was almost like, I don't know. It's when you go back and watch some of the older stuff, it's like at that time the graphics were so cool, or like the special effects and stuff like this, and somehow even though they state things have advanced, which I don't feel like they have, it's like almost creepier, not because of like the quality, but because we don't see stuff like that anymore.
No, I narrowed it down with Mom. It's not the seeing and stuff like that, it's the amount that you see it at once.
Yeah.
So like back then you couldn't record anything.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't do like, if you got a season, you wouldn't watch the season all at once. You'd watch like one episode at a time. Yeah. And it'd be a week difference. But that show would be sprinkled in with like Grimm was on Thursdays. I know Grimm was on Wednesdays, which was on the same time as like The Middle, Modern Family.
Yeah.
So it'd be like watch The Middle, watch Frankie, She's the Hoot, Stu Heck, all of them, which would be great. Then you watch Grimm and you're like, oh, this is a little creepy, but it'd be okay. And then you watch Modern Family, and my favorite human's Cam. I love Cam so much. And I'm like, I'd be giggling afterwards. So I wouldn't be like emotionally stuck in.
Yeah.
Like it was like an apology sandwich, but as TV shows.
I know it's funny because when I went back, it was this a couple of years ago. I felt like when I reached the end of like Netflix or YouTube, probably during the pandemic, I started watching Shameless, which I used to watch like here and there with like our dad when it first came out.
Oh yeah.
That show, you should not binge watch it.
No.
Because it like mentally completely fucks with you. And you get into this like, it's almost like, because it's so dark and fucked up, you're like, oh my God. Like there's so much stuff. And I think that was the kind of, that whole kind of thing. Like when I was watching Modern Family, it was so great. Like we would come home and watch a couple episodes every night, and it was so great. And it's great for like everybody. Yeah, they talk about different subjects and stuff like that, but it's so lighthearted that it's just every episode is just great. And it talks about like real life shit without being like intense real life shit.
And it was funny. Like there was a lot of shows, comedic shows. Like I feel like there was a definite separation because I was going through Disney Plus yesterday, just seeing what was on. And I clicked on the comedy section, and Love Simon was in there.
I don't know what that is.
It's a kid basically like realizing that he's gay.
Oh, okay.
And like his story. It is not a comedy.
Oh. I know their categories are fucking off. I've noticed some weird shit in their categories too.
Which like, okay, and like Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh my goodness. So that came up as family movies filtered in my on my Disney Plus. And it came up and my husband goes, "Oh, it's that guy from whatever." And of course, so you see the guy who played Percy Jackson originally, the movies. And then you see Emma Watson, Hermione, for anybody who doesn't know who that is. My husband goes, "Oh, we could put that on." I'm like, "No, we are not putting that on." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "That should not even be listed there. That should be listed under like teen drama."
Oh, mature drama.
Yeah, just like trauma. The trauma section. Not because it's a bad movie. It talks about like super deep subjects. And I think maybe unless you're paying attention to like the whole thing, it's like one of those ones where like you connect everything together and you're like, oh shit. Okay. That's like being The Fault in Our Stars is like a family movie. Or 6 Feet Apart. Can you imagine that? Oh, don't worry. It's totally a family movie. No, it's fucking not.
Which I will say, those like The Fault in Our Stars, 5 feet apart.
Oh, it's 5?
Yeah, 6 feet under. Remember when Honey 5 feet apart show? Because it's how the distance you're supposed to have between two CF patients.
Oh, yes. I know that. My friend had that.
Yeah, I was like, girl. But like, I think like those types of movies have their own space because they're not like the whole point of it is like talking about like living with cancer, living with cystic fibrosis, what they go through and stuff like that. But it's not like, oh, it's a comedy or it's like a love story and stuff like that. Like, I'm sorry. I understand that people are like, oh, it's a romantic comedy. If it's a romantic comedy, I better be giggling, I better be joking, and I better have maybe a minor cry every once in a while.
No. If it's a romantic comedy, I don't want anybody to die in the movie. That's my rule. It's not a romantic comedy. If all of a sudden I'm watching it, I'm having this great, lovely time, and then like somebody dies, I don't want to watch that.
Someone listed that Me Before You is a romantic comedy.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. There's certain ones where I'm like, how the fuck did this get into this category? Or I've like forgotten about it, or like the way that it's gauged. Like, I'm really sorry for anybody who likes this show, but on Netflix, do not put, hey, you like Gilmore Girls, maybe you'll like Jenny and Georgia.
Okay, so, or Firefly Lane. AC Stevens, like back in the day, she was on like 27 Dresses. She was everything. Loved her. Opened it up. I'm like, oh, okay, 70s. This is cute. Second episode. Okay. That is, oh. And then we're going through, I'm like, oh.
It just kept getting.
Oh.
I don't even think I watched the last season of that show because it just kept getting dark. See, that reminds me of they had this movie that came out with Julia Roberts and Susan Sarandon, and it's called Stepmother. And it looks like an adorable, cute, like fall movie where you're seeing like the dynamics of someone getting like remarried. And that's what they put in like all the things. And then they didn't quite fully deliver all the information. And we were like sitting and watching it with I was sitting and watching it with like our grandmother and our grandparents and stuff like that. And like Susan Sarandon gets killed 10 times. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was watching and I was like, oh, okay. And it's like the dynamics. It's not like monster-in-law, but it's still like family, like back and forth type thing. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? Yeah, there's like so many of these movies now, I feel like, that present themselves and they want to present themselves as like a cozy, nostalgic 90s, early 2000s movie. And then you watch it and it just takes like Right Turn Clyde. Like, it's just so fucking off. And you're like, oh my God. Or it's boring as fuck. And they showed you all the good shit in the trailers leading up to it.
So when I was in high school, I took a creative writing class and we learned about the 21 steps of making a movie or of writing a proper book and stuff like that. By the way, best teacher. Love that teacher. Creative writing in high school was probably my favorite class because he explained how to go through movies. And so we didn't have chairs in creative writing. You literally just sat on like this half stage because he's the drama teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And you would pull out your book and he would take all of us on field trips. There was like 8 of us, like around the city. And he'd be like, I want you to use these locations and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So he went through this 21 step, how to build a movie. And so we would watch a movie and you'd have to go through. It was like what the plot lines were.
Oh, I did that in like grade 6 and grade 7.
But what pisses me off about that is I never fully understood the graph line. But when he explained the 21 steps, it was basically like step 1, introduce, set the scene.
Yeah.
And then it would get to like, I think it was step 13. No, step 10 was the big plot line. By step 14, you got some sort of solution. Mm-hmm. By step 17, things were starting to clue up. Step 21, you had like, the whole thing was done. Because it was never like, oh, we're going to have a sequel of movies. Like, sequels for movies were for Disney originals. And it was never like, oh, we're going to have 14 unless you were Fast and the Furious.
Or unless you're Aladdin. Like, there were so many Aladdin movies, but they were always like straight to video. And I say straight to video because it would be straight to VHS or straight to DVD. Or they would have it as like a cartoon television show. Like the prequel for Hercules was a television show.
Yeah, so it was very much like you have one shot. And like if they made a second movie, it was a completely different plot.
The voice cast was different, the animation was different, and it was just like, you're like, what the fuck?
So the best way I could say it is like, if there was sequels of movies, it was like, and I give her all the props in the world, Jenny Han, bless your soul. I love you so much, and thank you for making good movies. To all the boys I loved before, when you watch the first movie, you find out why her mom's dead. Mm-hmm. You figure out the family dynamic.
Yes.
You know the whole storyline within the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Great. I want to know that. By the end of the movie, if they didn't make a second movie, I wouldn't have been upset.
No, because everything goes from start to finish. But the cool thing is you learn everything in the beginning about what the 3 movies are going to be about.
And, like, Wicked, for instance, you watch the first Wicked movie. Mm-hmm. Honestly, if they only did Wicked, the first Wicked, I would have been content.
Oh, it would have been totally fine because you see Dorothy walking into Oz. You see the hat on the ground with the water around. Like, you see all those things. So you're like, you could make up how it connects to Wizard of Oz.
No movies like that. They're all like, we're going to make a second one. We're going to make a 15th one. We're going to make this one or this one. I'm sorry. I need to just understand the full storyline. Marvel, I don't need another small series. I need a map.
No, Marvel's like, here's a shit ton of movies. Here's 18 side quests. Don't forget to watch all the fucking credits afterwards. Then you get a pinpoint and put them all together. So, like, I watched Fantastic Four on the weekend.
Oh, you did?
Okay. So it's good. 100%. I could have edited it down to an hour and 30 minutes.
See, to me, don't feel like Fantastic Four needed any changes other than the original one.
Okay, so it was supposed to be a mini series for years. They've been pitching
Yeah.
this mini series. What they did instead, because of the anticipation, and I think they were honestly writing on
Pedro Pascal.
and what's his name? Jason Quill? Ryan Quill?
Justice Quinn.
Joseph Quinn. Well, that one. They're writing on their popularity, and they figured, okay, well, let's like make this into a movie. Or they were like, fuck, we don't have any Marvel movies coming out that year. Let's do it. And you could tell it was a TV series. The effects,
Mhm.
scream TV series.
Mhm.
Now, the costumes, the like coloring, the sets, amazing. Like they were fucking so good. But all of those things, it was giving television show.
Which I feel I don't feel like short series was that common in like the early 2000s. When Harry Potter came out, it was a book series.
Yeah.
And then when they had the movies
were perfect.
but the movies all came out like there was almost like one a year.
Yeah.
Hunger Games came out one a year. I was not waiting. I'm sorry, Stranger Things. I've given up.
They also filmed them all at the like same time.
And I'm not like, I understand that's a lot of labor of love and stuff like that, but I'm not saying that I want people to be working ridiculously to make 3 movies.
I'm sorry though, if you sign on to a series and you know there's going to be that many movies and you're getting that fat paycheck and bonus at the beginning and they can like plan out their life, and I think a whole thing is you would pay to be fully committed to that role and stay that character, versus now it's like, oh, but I want to have a million side quests along the way, which then cause issues with filming and production and also fuck with all the other actor schedules that are in those movies or those TV series. And then you get things like Millie Bobby Brown is literally married and a mom.
And I feel like if, for instance, say you filmed you filmed 3 movies back to back, like they filmed Wicked all at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was hard, but you could say goodbye to those characters and move on. When you are filming and switching every single year, now these characters, like Pugsley, like this kid has grown up.
Oh my God, I swear to God, he grew like 3 feet in 2 years.
And like now it's like, oh, is that the same person? You don't resonate with the characters as much because they're not growing up. Like you're not watching the characters grow with the movies. Yeah. Like I would rather you film all of the movies at once. Yeah, maybe take a couple of years to edit them and then release them once a year is okay. If you do twice a year, I would pay way more attention.
Well, and people don't forget about it. And there's little things that aren't like missed and stuff in between. Like, I don't know. There was something in how they did it before that it seemed to work better.
Well, so Hallmark movies, for instance, Hallmark movies take 6 weeks to make.
I am not surprised.
Start to finish.
But you anticipate if they take 6 weeks, I know exactly the quality I'm going to get.
Which isn't bad.
Like, no, it's not bad. It's like, I gotta be totally honest, and you can shit on me if you're also Canadian because I point this out, but they're like a good old Canadian filmed production.
Oh, 100%.
They are. Most of them are filmed in like the Okanagan, or they're filmed in like the lower mainland of like British Columbia. A lot of them are filmed around British Columbia.
And Alberta now.
Oh, yeah.
But a majority of the time, actually, Nova Scotia now because of Sullivan's Crossing. Everyone's like fascinated with Newfoundland. There's a bunch of stuff being filmed in Newfoundland right now. That's Josh Hartnett got into a car accident. That's the only reason why I know. Oh.
Yeah. He got into apparently a head-on collision with a highway patrol officer in Newfoundland.
But you'd watch them, like they'd film 6 weeks, stuff like that. They'd be out the next year.
Yep.
And which is totally okay. You take 6 months to film because there's a bunch. I understand like fantasy movies and movies that have a lot of like CGI stuff.
Yeah.
Or have a lot of stunts and stuff. Like they take longer. You have to train. Musicals, dance numbers. Those take a lot to train and film. And when I was younger, like a lot of Disney Channel, they were like, oh, you want to sing? So you used to do this thing. The biggest one that people may know is how to do you want to build a snowman? with Jordan Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
And like all of them. So you would do like a bunch of them would go in and they would sing like these group songs.
Oh, yeah.
And it was always like, they were always bangers.
Oh, they were so fucking good. Like, they would take, like, was the Lion King song one of the ones that they did?
Circle Life.
Yeah, Circle of Life. And they just had, like, a bunch of people singing it and be like, oh, your favorite Disney stars. And they would do it for, like, Children's Hospital or something like that. Like, there would always be something.
Yeah, so it would be, they'd hit on, then a lot of people would be like, oh, you can sing. So a lot of people wanted to sing, but they didn't have like the training for it. So then they're like, oh my God, you're a really good singer. We're going to put you in all of like a bunch of different stuff. And then it just like blows up. So like you can be held by Disney for like 10 years and they'll be like, oh yeah, like, do you want to do music? Like Sabrina Carpenter.
I was really saying, Sabrina Carpenter is like, she had so many albums out before the ones that blew.
It was never like, you're an actor, you're a singer. No, it's like, you're an actor, model, singer, entrepreneur, lifestyle influencer. Like, I love Dancing with the Stars. I watch Dancing with the Stars every single week. Another childhood classic for me. But when I listen to the openers of like who people are, Alex Earle, content creator, Hilaria Baldwin, lifestyle influencer, yoga personality, and entrepreneur. Robert Irwin, wildlife conservationist,
Animal conservationist.
and like I listen to the Whitney and Jen are like reality personalities.
Oh, that's my favorite thing is the reality personalities, but they're only reality personalities because they were on Mom Talk in Utah and it popped the fuck off.
But like the listen, and it's never like, well, it'll be like from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Whitney Levitt.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, some of them I'm like, why are we comedian? Like, it's like the list is this long. And I'm like, we don't have a lot of, oh, you're an actor. Oh, you're like, we have a lot of singers. But it's never like, oh,
Olympic gymnastics competitor. Like, one thing.
I know.
It's like all the rest of them are like, oh, I don't want to be called this. I don't want to be called that. Half of them do all the same shit. That's what makes me laugh.
Like, you're literally saying influencer and content creator. And so then, like, people will be like, oh, well, everybody wants to be a content creator. Everybody wants to be an actor.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a singer.
If you're an actor now or a singer, you have to be a content creator or nobody will literally talk to you. Like, oh, you can't get rid of it because they check your followers before they put you in a show. And I was like, ew, that's so gross. Or when Vince Vaughn was talking about how they figured out how to make movies so that way they hit enough people's views or all this other stuff. And that's the only way that they make movies now. That's why comedies and everything else isn't the same.
Like, if anybody comes up with, like, a new movie concept, like, I know everybody will shit on Hallmark and they'll be like, it's the same movie, a city girl and a small town farmer boy. I'm sorry, look at 90% of the shows that come out. And
they're all the same shit.
They're all the same shit. Like, Gilmore Girls in a different font. Or they're like, oh, I was inspired by this, so I made this. And I'm like, nope, you weren't. This is the same show.
Yeah. This is the exact same thing. Are you kidding me right now? Like I'm Twilight fans, you're going to come at me. Stephanie Meyers literally said that she was obsessed with Buffy and then had a dream. Spike or Angel, Edward or Jacob.
And I think a lot of the shows too, when you were younger, if you had a favorite actor, you would, if a movie came out, it would be like Adam Sandler's movies. Oh, Adam Sandler's in this? I'm going to go watch it.
And then there's other shows that we watched in the early 2000s where, like, a lot of people don't realize that there was 1 or 2 seasons of the show. And that was it. Like, Lizzie McGuire was only 2 seasons.
OC. Heart of Dixie.
Oh, fuck. Seriously, Rachel Bielson. If you want to, like, just to bring that fucking show back up again, I would love that. I love that show so much.
And I feel like that's what we're missing so much now is, like,
we're missing original WB shows. That's what we're missing.
We're missing originals. We're missing, like,
preteen. Again, this goes back to that whole, like, they're kicking out all the preteen shit out of all the malls.
Yeah.
And having all the stores and basically sending kids to Aritzia, Zara, and Sephora. They're taking out all the shows, too. Where, like, instead of a kid watching Hannah Montana and, like, the cutesy relationship, some of them are watching Euphoria.
Like, more showrunners should come out with, because people my age would love to watch, like, oh, this is a cozy show,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, I deep dived on the blog, and I will give a preview. I don't know if you read the blog.
I haven't read it yet. It came out right now.
Ah, rude. But I deep dive on what I look for in a book. It's the same what I look for in a movie. If it is a romantic comedy, I want it to be two separate people come together to complement each other.
Yes.
I don't need this girl to give up her entire life and have no life goals because, oh my god, Luke looked at me and I love him.
Oh, yeah. It's like
No.
It's literally just a new version of like the princess scenario.
It is such a pain. And to any writers, if you ever need assistance, let me know.
I have all of the ideas. And if any of you are writing these amazing things and they're being stifled, send it over. We'll do an excerpt. Maybe somebody will hear it.
Yeah. But on that note, always stay warped and twisted as ever. Peace.
We've got stories no need to hide. From ups and downs, we're not alone. This is our space where we've grown. Real talk, no filter, just the truth. Navigate